What's going on, guys? Spartan Willie here, and welcome to episode 16 of our Rebooting Ferrari Motorsport Manager Season 2 F1 2020 mod series. Okay, so Singapore in 3 days, no time to do anything. We sort of did all the admin last time out. We're working on the reliability for the suspension, which I don't think we'll be able to get done, which is a bit disappointing, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll get to travel to Singapore here, and then we'll see what is it on. 75, I think that's fine. That should be fine. I mean, I think the suspension, it's a one difference, so we'll just give the old one to Leclerc. There's no point forcing it with the broken suspension at this point, just for the one performance. So that being said, it's time to travel to Singapore. So I will see you for qualifying 3. Okay, so Q1, 2 practice done, and we topped the timesheets in Q1 and Q2 with Daniel Ricciardo there. Bit of rain in Q2 meant Leclerc could sneak into P2 as well, so maybe we have pace, but obviously after Monza last time out, I'm very cautious and reluctant to say that we do. And it looks like it's going to be an absolutely shocking day. A shocking Q3 here. As you can see here, I've never seen it this bad. Torrential rain here in Singapore. The track is legit soaked. There's a thunderstorm, the first thunderstorm of the series, I think. But yeah, quite a spectacle when you look at it. Pretty cool. And actually, there's a bit of a dry patch there, and they might have just maximize that perfection to Hamilton, but he's on the wet, so he can't be that fast. I probably could have gone out then, but we're more looking towards that sort of 6-minute mark. We'll send him out there. I know this is a bit of a tricky session to navigate, but we're going to send him out now on the super softs because it's so much faster. Bit early maybe, so we're going to send out Ricciardo a bit later. Ricciardo, no, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous about this Q3, to be honest. This is quite intense. Anyone could be on pole. We could be in... Look, the worst we can do is 10th. The worst we can do is 10th. So, hopefully we get this gap in the track right. Looks like we might have done it okay with Ricciardo. Not the best we could have done, but he's gone purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2 and Sector 3. So, it looks like we've timed that to absolute perfection. Come on, rain, 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 rain. Absolutely bucket down. It looks like we've got a 1-2. Alonso split us. Alonso, he is our forever rival the series, but he's split us, but it's still 1-3, and Hamilton's gone second on the Inters. So it looks like the super softs maybe were forcing it a little bit, the super softs. Inters might have been faster, but Ricciardo holds down first, and Leclerc's in 8th, which is quite bizarre, considering that they were 1-2 not long ago. But anyway, we'll take pole position with Ricciardo. He can hopefully get a good start and just take off. Best case scenario. I mean, we saw it at Monza. Didn't end out too well, but hopefully we can have a better result today. Okay, so it looks like Inters are the tire to be on. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen this race. This seems very strange. We'll probably pit around lap 15 and go into some... Oh, I don't know. This is a really tough race. This weekend has been quite bizarre. I'm not gonna lie already. That last session was strange. Now is the whole rest of the grid gonna go on Inters, or are they gonna have like a little dry compound and then go on the Inters? I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't push too hard on the tyres from the get-go because there's not much water on the track. If we have a quick look at the tyres. So the Inters are good for not that much. Like if it was going to stay like this the whole time, it would obviously be softs. So I'm more looking towards that lap sort of 30 part of the race, because that's when it starts getting a bit awkward. But we'll go out, not going to push too out of the tyres from the get-go here. Looking just to use all the engine power we can and hopefully get a good start with Ricciardo here. We need a slingshot start. Decent start, not the best start, not a bad start. Verstappen gets a stomping start there. We're going to go zooming through here. Verstappen... Finding with Verstappen here, we're going to tell him to push a little bit, just try and get those tyres up to temp. But they're going to struggle to stay in temperature here with no water on the track, so maybe we should have pushed them harder, but then that makes a mistake because they don't really have the grip as slicks do, obviously, because of all the canals in the tyre to get the water out from underneath the car. But looks like we're getting a bit of a gap here, which is good to see. I'm not really focused on Charles too much this race so far, obviously, because we have a man on pole, so we've got to really make sure we maximize his start We're going to absolutely destroy these tyres because, well, obviously, we are not going to be on them for very long. But 4-second gap to Verstappen here. Beautiful from Ricciardo. We'll say that any day of the week. Leclerc's got a bit of work to do, but he's not quite ready. Doesn't have the quiet car underneath him. What am I trying to say here? He doesn't have the car underneath him to do much. So I think lap 15 we'll definitely switch on a dry compound and we will sort of see what we do. I don't know. This time period in lap 30 is really awkward. But it's a decent amount of laps. So I think we have to go on the inters there as well. So we're going on the super softs. Just because yeah, we're going on the super softs. We're going to take that risk. And then, oh, safety car. Damn it. We had a 4-second gap and then the safety car comes out. Of course it does. Anyway. Oh, nah, it's way too early to pit for your tyres. Way too early. We got a stomping start. We need Ricciardo to have another really good restart under the safety car. It's sort of getting close to that free pit stop window. I mean, the pit stop window, so a free pit stop would be ideal, but the track would go to the back of the grid now. It's way too late for a pit stop. But quite an intense start to this Q3 and race, hasn't it? It's been all action go here in Singapore. I do like this track, the look of it as well. Oh, I've completely missed the... Oh, no, I haven't missed a jump there. Attack, 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 attack. We need Ricciardo to get a beautiful start and Leclerc, but mostly Ricciardo because he's leading the race. Come on, off you go. Take off, son. Take off. He's using all that ERS as well, which is good. We're going to zoom forward a little bit, try and get this race going again. And it looks like it's just pulling away again. Ricciardo has got pace this weekend. So at lap 15, I'm going to come in for some dry tyres and absolutely run away, hopefully. Tyres overheated, that's fine. Chuck it into neutral 12 times, and we've got a 4-second gap again, so gap restored. As we're coming towards the end of our interstint here, that is sort of like the borderline between dry compound and inters, that's the thing. There's no point, I need to pit, okay. You're coming in super softs, but it's making me think, because he's just said that, I think we need to go long. I think we need to go the rest of the race on the softs. But we can't do that anyway, because that means we'd have to go on the mediums, and I hate the mediums. So we're going to leave ourselves pretty much open here. We can do either. We're going to tell Leclerc to pit now as well. Park conditions fine. Recharge the battery. Safe pit strategy. Hopefully he can make it in. Oh, he's just past the pit. It looks like Verstappen's already come in. People are going to the softs and going to look to go to the end, but they're silly because they've got another pit stop in them. Come on, we need a good pit stop. Beautiful. Ricciardo's out. Leclerc's out. Ricciardo's still in first with a 5-second gap. Pause. Hang on, I'm losing myself a little bit here. Tell him to conserve a little bit because I think it still rises on neutral. Look to zoom away from Verstappen. Use as much fuel as we can. Alright, so this race, we're in a good spot right now. We're in a good spot. We are still open to pitting for a second set of inters. Everyone else has at least got one pit stop. So we're not going to lose any time whether we have to pit or not. So that's a very good scenario to be in. We're still getting a decent gap to Verstappen, but once we turn the engine down, I'm a bit scared of what's going to happen. But because... I didn't mean to rhyme just then, but that was pretty cool. But because we're on a softer set of compound, I hope that will sort of get us over the line. I would be very surprised if they get those softs in the race, like I said earlier. I think that's basically an impossible job, but you know what? AI have done more impossible things, we'll say. But using as much fuel as we can, try and maintain that gap to Max Verstappen. These tyres are very quick to rise on neutral, which is surprising. Well, not really, but it's just sort of a thing to keep in mind. And first and sixth, I'll take that any day of the week. So what does that mean? We extend that gap to Red Bull to 12 points, and it's starting to rain a bit more, I think. So we've got to keep an eye on that, the condition of the track. I don't know if it's rising or neutral or going down. I think it would start to go down now because of the weather. This has been a crazy race to try and manage. It's just been almost impossible. But we're doing it. And we've got a 6.5 second gap on first place. Well, from first place. So that is decent. And now this is where we're going to see what's going to happen when people start to pit. Or whether they don't pit or whether they stay out. You know what I mean? So we're going to really be able to go off what other people do. And I thought someone was on it, but Armstrong crashed. That crash brought out the safety car, if you remember. And we're about to enter the worst period of the wet, which means we pretty much won't pit because it's only a little increase. And if we're not on the tyres yet, then we probably won't need inters. So we should be fine with the inters. So we're going to need one more stop underneath in dry conditions. So we'll probably just be onto another set of super softs because obviously softs, yeah, we can go on the softs, I guess, but we don't really need to. We can just go on another set of softs, which are the faster tyre, super softs. But yeah, that is sort of the plan. But Verstappen is shutting that gap quickly. He shut that second. Oh, not quickly, but he shut a second. So go overtake with Leclerc, neutral, bang, bush, bosh, and it's back out to 7 seconds. Beautifully done. We're just sort of managing that gap, which is good. And we've got one more pit stop. Hopefully Hamilton and Verstappen also stop. They've actually managed those tyres pretty well. So I'm starting to panic a little bit because we still got to stop. So it's not great. It's not great. We're not going to be able to get these tyres at the end of the race. There's no way in heck. So I don't know. We'll see how we go, eh? Oh, I thought that was a safety car. I would have praised the Lords then if we got a safety car. But they are managing those tyres bloody well. Up to 63% now with 23 laps. You never know. We could still be alright. How long have they been on those tyres? Yeah, 25 laps. So they've used 40%. They'll be on pretty much dead tyres, but they'll be going. And Hamilton is shutting that gap. Hamilton is so bloody quick. It's not even funny. It's actually just frustrating now. But anyway. We're going to tell Ricardo to come in next lap. These tyres are basically dead. We're going to jump on another set of supers. No, we're not. We're going to jump on softs. No, super softs. We've got to do something. I don't know. Jump on another set of softs. Super softs. Yeah, he's been on there for 27 laps. Super right. Alright. So, Leclerc is still alright managing those tyres. We're going to tell him to come in actually. No more rain for the rest of the session. We'll be right. Recharge that battery a little bit. And pit in. Ricardo, we need no pit error for Ricardo, please, boys. Beautifully done, lads. And we dropped down to third. But hopefully there's still a pit stop in it. But I'm starting to think that maybe there won't be. But you know what? We'll play it by ear. We won't get too... Oh no, we're right behind Verstappen already anyway. And only 4 seconds off Hamilton. So we're still in this race if we can get past Verstappen early. We don't want to stay too long behind Verstappen so we can chase down Hamilton. And we're still behind Verstappen and losing a lot of time to Hamilton. So this is worst case scenario stuff that I'm reading out to you right now. We need to get past Verstappen now to be able to challenge Hamilton. But it looks like those tyres are going to go through to the end. And Verstappen is staying in front of us. And our tyres are starting to overheat. So we sort of lost our window there for first place. Unless those two stop. Which I'm starting to think is less and less likely, to be honest. It's not looking great. But where does that put us in the standings? It means we go equal top with Red Bull. Mercedes are 2 points behind. Come on, Ricardo, you need to pull your finger out and you got to get past Verstappen. It's not going to happen, is it? Oh, it's not going to happen. We're actually just... I don't know. I don't think we would have made it to the end on softs. I don't know how they've made it to the end on softs. So I don't regret going on to the double stop under the dry conditions because our tyre management isn't as good as theirs or something because we wouldn't have made it to the end of the race on softs. Anyway, this is what it is. 9 laps to go and it looks like those tyres are going to be fine. But hopefully another safety car. No, they'll give them a free stop, so probably not. Let's not hope for another safety car. We need one of them to crash, but that never happens, so we won't get too excited for that. Well, we won't count on that. We won't get excited for it, but come on, boys. Just sort of give me one last little bit of pushing. We need to get past Bottas. We're on the softer compound. The game doesn't really... it sort of underestimates what going on a softer compound really means, I feel like, because we got basically a better car than them, and they're beating time, but anyway. Fresher, softer compound. Those tyres are dead. They're off the cliff. They shouldn't be that good, but anyway. It's fine. We'll deal with it. It's just a game. 2 laps to go. Final lap, and we're going to tell both drivers just to push as hard as they can. But it looks like it's going to be another podium for Ricardo, which isn't too bad, but the race win was on the cars today, and just missed out. Those tyres were eked out. What's Hamilton's percentage on those tyres? 16%. How ridiculous is that? If we were on 16%, we would have been overtaken 6 times. But I guess it's what it is. What it is. Hopefully they weren't cheating, because that means Verstappen and Red Bull would overtake us. But we'll deal with it anyway. So, a mixed Singapore. It looked like we were winning at one point with 7 points clear in first place. Our strategy we went to pit again, and softer tyres didn't quite work out for us, and they didn't cheat. It's fair play to them. They won fair and square. Third place for Ricardo, another podium, beautifully done. And that means it is 2 points between the top three teams. How insane is that? With probably 6 races to go. Yeah, 6 races to go. Insane. It's going to come right down to the wire whether we win the championship this season, which is nerve-wracking. We need a couple more upgrades to the team. Maybe we should look to building a nice part for Abu Dhabi, just so we can have a bit of a boost in the final race of the season. So, I don't know. We didn't focus on next year because I sort of thought we were going to wrap it up this season, but maybe we should have focused more on next season with the engine and stuff because, I don't know. Nah, if we're in a title fight, we have to focus on this season with the car upgrades. It just means we won't get as much as a push for next season. But anyway, we'll see what happens this season first, I guess. Lewis Hamilton finished ahead of... No, I support my drivers 100%. Sorry, Lewis. Well, not really because I do support my drivers 100%. Brakes done in 23 hours, which will be good. And we're repairing the car, obviously. So, 6 races to go. Hopefully, we can get an edge in the title fight. Where are we in the car? Still second best car on grid. Mercedes are right in there, as you can see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you already have. And I will see you for Sochi.